Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is a preview of 3 new art lenses from Sigma. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sigma has been kicking ass and taking names for the past roughly 5 years once they decided to pursue the art line of lenses, the sport line of lenses, and the contemporary line of lenses. The art line of lenses are their highest end quality lenses that they're creating, and they just came out with 3. A 14mm 1.8 HSM lens, a 135 1.8 HSM lens, and a 24-70 2.8 OS HSM lens. Now, up until this point, they haven't announced the pricing just yet. Maybe I'll throw some guesstimates in there on what I think, but let's start with the 14mm. That is an ultra-wide, full-frame 1.8 lens. Nikon has a 14-24 2.8 that's like 8 years old at this point. Canon has an 11-24 f4. This is the first 14mm 1.8 that is out there for the full frame line of lenses. It's available in Nikon mount, Canon mount, Sigma mount, and it is compatible with the E mount of for Sony with their adapter and all that good stuff right there. Sigma has been doing an incredible job making quality glass. Now, do we need a 14mm wide angle that's 1.8? I'm not sure about that. I like having the 14-24 range or the 11-24 range, even at f4, because when you're shooting so wide, you don't really worry about depth of field because it's so wide. It's much harder to blow out, but maybe at 1.8, you'll be able to get some interesting bokeh, though I don't really think you will. We'll have to see when we get our hands on it and do a real-world review. Now, if you think Sigma has been kicking ass, go ahead and give this a thumbs up as well, because they have been kicking ass, so give it a thumbs up. Now, moving on, we've got a 135 f1.8. Now, this at 1.8 could be fantastic for portraits. Now, remember, just because you have the 1.8 doesn't mean you're supposed to shoot everything open, wide open at 1.8. The great thing about these wide angle 1.8, not wide angle, but these wide openings at 1.8 is the fact that when you stop down to 2, 2.2, 2.5, 2.8, 3.2, those areas, they get much sharper than the 2.8 lenses shot at 2.8. That's the point of all of that glass. Now, a 135 is going to be great for when you are shooting portraits. It's going to be an awesome lens in the studio or for weddings, maybe for sports, but again, it's not a zoom lens, it's a fixed lens, which means it's probably going to give you the perception of a sharper image than what you would get with a zoom, but remember, it's limiting. I like having a little longer 1.8 lens at 135. I have the 105 from Nikon, the f1.4, and I wish that was in the 135 range, but of course it would be a hell of a lot more expensive. Now let me go back to the 14 real quick. That's going to be great for ultra wide angle shots, for getting the whole scene of a room, to get a lot of detail. Remember, with ultra wide, don't just shoot everything ultra wide. Make sure you have some details in there. Guesstimate for this price of this lens, $14.99 for the 14 1.8. That's what I'm going to say right there. The 135 1.8, I'm going to put a $1,523 price tag on that one. And then the 24-70 2.8 OS, this is nice because I'm not particularly too happy with the 24-70 2.8 VR from Nikon. I don't know if it's not sharp or it's just me, or I run into issues with the VR on where it doesn't give me sharp images when VR is on, and it absolutely should be giving me sharp images. Or is it user error? I don't think so, but I still like the lens, but maybe this 24-70 will give a less expensive, maybe $1,000 lens. Maybe this will be a $1,500 or $1,600 lens that gets people a full frame 24-70 2.8 for whatever they want to shoot on it. Now, I can't wait to try and do a real-world review on a D5 or on a 5D Mark IV with whatever lens they decide to send. If it's a Nikon mount or a Canon mount, we'll shoot it and we'll do a real-world review. But it's going to be interesting to see if this 24-70 2.8 OS rivals the Nikon 24-70 2.8 VR, because one is VR and one is optical stabilization. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. What do you guys think about these lenses? Out of these 3, which would you like, or would you like all 3? Leave a comment down below. Now, what I think is going to happen next is you will see a 70-200 2.8 sport lens. I don't know why Sigma hasn't updated that lens at this point, but it is due. The 70-200 2.8 line that Sigma comes out with or has had in the past has been a great purchase for anybody out there getting started and wanted to get a 2.8 lens that's better because it's a 70-200 than any of the kit 55-200s. Even though it's more expensive in the $1,300–1,400 price range, it is a great option even when you can find them used or whatever like that. So those are the three lenses. You've got the 14 1.8, 135 1.8, 24-70 2.8 OS, all from the Art line. Sigma, you're doing a fantastic job. I can't wait to try these things out and share the results with you guys. And don't forget, if you have gear, which probably you do because you're watching my videos, how do you organize and protect it? Well, I came out with My Gear Vault. That's right. Go download My Gear Vault at mygearvault.com. It's the best way to input, organize, and protect your gear. It is a free download. Try it out right now. That's what I have to say. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. My Gear Vault. Input, organize, protect. Download now for free at mygearvault.com or the Apple App Store. Coming soon to Android. Subscribe now. Watch this video.